Hi folks, Kieran here again. I hope you're all good. Thought I'd do a quick video on this recent UK leaving the EU business. A few weeks ago, as people will probably know, the United Kingdom had a referendum and voted narrowly to leave the European Union. I was against this and voted to stay in the European Union, but as I say, we just narrowly lost it. My previous video is about my reasons for voting to remain in the European Union, so I won't go into that now. Just thought I'd give a quick reaction to the sort of events since then. Basically, there's been some political turmoil. It's probably the biggest, outside of elections, it's the biggest political turmoil in my lifetime. It's really some unexpected stuff. Prime Minister's resigned. We're having a new Prime Minister this week. And the leader of the Labour Party has come under a lot of pressure to resign as well. But he's sticking with it at the moment. But he looks like he's going to face a leadership election very soon. First thing I'd like to say is that I think that referenda are a really good thing, and I think that the Prime Minister shouldn't be pressured to resign if that's if he kind of loses the referendum. Might have been better if he didn't campaign on either side of the referendum. As it happened, he did campaign on what turned out to be the losing side. But if we're going to encourage politicians to give us referenda, I think we should, we've got to have this kind of a culture of not blaming them whichever way it goes. I mean, we should regard the kind of result as right, if you like, because that's what the people have decided. And I think that politicians should only be praised, really, for giving us referenda on things, on important issues. This government, actually, I'm not a huge fan of the Tory government, but they did give us, they've given us 3 major referenda in their 6 years so far in power, which is a lot better than the previous government did. So this is all really good, and yeah, it's a shame that it looks like David Cameron is going to be. He probably considers it a mistake himself. Everyone around him probably is going to call this his biggest mistake, and it's this referendum was a good thing he did, and it's his finest hour, as far as I'm concerned. So there's that point. So I don't know why he's resigning, but he is. A related point is there's been some weird people like resigning and kind of falling on their swords, especially on the Tory side. Well, only on the Tory side, I think. First, we had David Cameron. I don't know quite why he resigned. I've heard different answers from different people. I mean, my sort of feeling when he did resign was that he was pressured out, but I don't know if he was pressured out. Don't quite understand how that worked out in the end, because the person who's going to take over was also remain in the EU camp. So I don't know why they've pushed him out and got another Remain person to replace him. It seems a bit pointless. Maybe he left himself. A friend of mine suggested he just couldn't be asked to do all this leaving the EU negotiations and stuff. I don't quite believe that somehow. I think he would. I imagine he's enough of a careerist that he cares more about just ending on a high and carrying on the number of years in office that he wanted to serve. But then we had Boris Johnson suddenly resigning, suddenly pulling out, which was a bit bizarre. What else do we have? I think we had a third person. Oh yeah, we've had this Andrea Leadsom, I believe her name is. Seemed to be doing very well in the Tory race to become leader of the Tory party and therefore Prime Minister. And they suddenly, out of the blue, pulled out of the race as well, where she had a pretty good chance of winning. Seems a bit bizarre. I mean, I would have thought, even if she doesn't think she'd have a hard time, I mean, even if she thinks she'd have a very hard time as Prime Minister, I mean, wouldn't you as a politician rather be Prime Minister for a bit than not? And, well, I mean, what can the MPs really do to her? I mean, if all they can do is a vote of no confidence, which would bring the Labour Party in, or bring a period of no government in, or it would be quite a big move for them to try to get rid of her. So it's just seeing, I don't know what's going on behind these closed doors. It seems like there's like these people are suddenly pulling out of this thing, suddenly are getting like phone calls from the people who really run the world or something, or run the country, or run the Tory party. It's all a bit conspiracy-ish from where I'm sitting. I don't really go in for conspiracy theories that much, but this stuff, I would like some more answers about what's going on, because the reasons we've been given don't sound particularly convincing to me. Okay, the other turmoil we've had is in the Labour Party, as I said, where most of the MPs in the Labour Party are trying to unseat their leader, Jeremy Corbyn, because as far as I can see, because Corbyn's on the left of the party and they're on the right and middle of the party, and it's just an enormous gulf between him and them. I've put my name down on a petition to sort of say support him, to say stay. Well, what website's it on? Should remember this for you in case someone else wants to sign this thing. I'll just have to put it on below. The names escape me for the moment. Anyway, yeah, I support him. Obviously, I'm a socialist. He's a socialist. It's amazing the Labour Party politicians won't work with him. He's not that extreme. I mean, he is kind of centre left, that's all I can say. He wants to put taxes up on the rich a bit, nationalise a few things like power, utilities and things. Really, it's not stuff that's reasonably popular. It's just really amazing to me that this stuff is so beyond the pale for these people who are supposed to be left to centre. But that's the way it goes. I mean, I think it is a bit bizarre on the part of Jeremy Corbyn and the rest, and the people against him, is that basically this Labour Party is just too broad a church, isn't it? I think it's got to be a party has got to stand for one sort of ideology, and I think it is a bit too broad. I think Corbyn and people like him should have left years ago, joined the Greens or joined their own party or something. I don't feel that. I'm not hugely strong opinion about this, but that's kind of what I think. And I think these people on the right of the party have got to leave as well, or something. I think a party should be one coherent thing that the voters know what they're getting when they vote. Anyway, I hope Corbyn does stick with it and ideally become Prime Minister. That would be absolutely superb from my point of view. Anyway, those are my thoughts for now, and all the best to all of you. Bye bye.